Hello there and welcome to episode 3 of From Them to Now, where we take the World Wrestling Federation from 1992 and we bring it to the future. And well, we've got a third episode of Superstars, week 3 of January. And we are staying in the Great Lakes region for this one. I think we're in Cincinnati, Ohio. We've got 2 big matches for you today. Obviously, as always, we announce 2 major matches and then have a selection of minor matches on the undercard. Our 2 major matches today is our main event is a 6-person tag team match between Money Inc. and the Mountie against the entire Hart Foundation, Bret Hart, Jim Neidhart, and Owen Hart. Big main event match there. The Intercontinental Champion and the #1 contenders for the tag team titles, both in that match. And our secondary main event, our second big match, is the Shawn Michaels in-game debut. It's the first time we've used him, and he is going to be facing the Texas Tornado, Kerry von Erich. I am excited for this episode. We've got some good promo segments set up, but some big build-up for next week, which is the go-home show before the Rumble. So I'm definitely excited for that. So let's get straight into this. And we kick off with Piper's Pit. Roddy Piper, not got a direct feud at the moment, but eventually in real life he obviously was kind of involved in this feud between Bret Hart and the Mountie, which led to a feud between Bret Hart and Roddy Piper. I'm not sure if we're going to do that exactly yet, but this is sort of easing, pretty much planting that seed in case we do go there. And it's got the Hart Foundation there. It's Bret, Jim and Owen. They're all chatting. Bret's chatting about the Mountie. Now next week he is going to beat the Mountie one-on-one. But tonight there's 3 people to beat, and it doesn't matter. The Hart Foundation is the greatest family in wrestling. And that they are going to beat the Mountie. They're going to beat the tax man, and they're going to beat the wealthy man. Because they are the everymen. Basically playing up their sort of everyman characters, Canadian everymen. Gets a 79, not too bad. What do we move on to? Got our first match of the night. Marty Jannetty defeats Hercules, goes 7 minutes, diving fist drop. Pretty short match. Well, for in game it's a pretty short match. Marty Jannetty picks up the win, 47-44. Definitely the Jannetty of the Rockers is Marty Jannetty. We'll find out exactly how much he's the Jannetty, well, when we see Shawn Michaels wrestle later. 50 rating though. Honestly, for an opening match, isn't awful. We then get Gene Okerlund interviewing Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth about his upcoming match at the Royal Rumble against Jake Roberts. When in walks the Snake. And he almost commandeers the interview, takes out Okerlund and starts asking Savage questions. Going around like, why do you think you stand a chance against the most devious man in the World Wrestling Federation? What do you have that makes you so special? Basically, keeps the interview going, but Savage, you can tell Savage is getting more and more irate. They don't come to blows, because Roberts basically just winds Savage up and walks off. Savage, famously a hothead. So, sensible tactics, really, to get him to lose his temper and not think straight. Pretty sensible. 91, though, great angle. The Natural Disasters quickly defeat Virgil and Jim Powers. Virgil and Jim Powers don't work well as a team, but they are just thrown together, so I don't really care. I don't think I'm going to come to a situation where I put Virgil and Jim Powers as a team again, if I'm being brutally honest. Earthquake picks up the win here, pinning Virgil with the Earthquake Splash. Earthquake gets a 64-53 for Typhoon. I have had people come to me and say that Earthquake is a major future star. I think it was Flair. So, or Piper, one of those 2. I'm definitely interested to see what we can do with the natural disasters, and then what eventually we can do with John Tenta, because despite how he looks, he is pretty young at this point. Gets a 55 though, not too bad. We then get a quick promo backstage from Ted DiBiase, RRS, and the Mountie, with the hilarious line that just like the Mountie, the tax man always gets his man. Basically, honestly, that might even be the entire reason I put this team on, because I found that line funny. It's that the Mountie always gets his man, and so does the tax man. Well, unless you're Ted, because I'm pretty sure Ted doesn't pay any tax. Politics, yay. 90 rating though, great promo. That's decent promos from both sides of this main event, hyping it up. Not too shabby. Next match, the Warlord and Haku team up to take on Jimmy Snuka and the Bushwhackers. Snuka does everything in his power to try and keep the Bushwhackers out of this match, but they keep tagging in, getting worked over, and then trying to tag out to... Snuka wants himself back in, but they tag out to the other Bushwhacker. And eventually Snuka does get back in this match, gets a bit of a run, gets to run wild a little bit of a hot tag. For Luke, blind tags himself back in and gets submitted with the Asian spike after Snuka just gives up and doesn't even bother trying to save him. 57 for Snuka, 58 for Haku. So pretty good ratings across the board. Obviously the Bushwhackers are massively lower than everybody else, which makes sense. They're the Bushwhackers. But 56 is not too shabby for one of our undercard matches. The Road Warriors cut a ramble promo. Bit coke heavy, you know, as most promos from this era are. They said they will take on any contenders, and they look forward to meeting Money Inc. at the Rumble. Obviously, because the Rumble is for the world title, a lot of the people who are in these major matches will also be in the Rumble. We're not just going to not have them in the Rumble. Like Savage and Roberts, they're gonna be in the Rumble. Same with the Road Warriors and Money Inc. Because honestly, why would we not put them in the Rumble? 61 rating though, pretty good stuff. Sid Justice makes his first match of the save, and he beats Pat Tanaka, with a powerbomb in 9 minutes. It's a 66, 67 for Sid, 54 for Tanaka. Fuji at ringside. It's what you'd expect from an early 90s match. It's not massively great, but also not terrible. You know, Sid's got great star quality. While he maybe can't go in ring as well, based on compared to his pop, he's a great hand to have around because he's got all that pop. 66 rating though. We get a little vignette for Papa Shango doing something spooky. I don't fully know what. Papa Shango. I haven't really thought of what I'm going to do with him yet, but I needed 6 minutes, so I gave him a quick vignette. 51, not great without a script. Noted. Our semi-main event sees Shawn Michaels defeat the Texas Tornado Kerry von Erich in 18 minutes. So this is one of our 2 long matches of each show. Shawn Michaels picks up the win with sweet chin music. 65 for Shawn, 51 for Kerry. Is quite disappointing actually. Although I'm sure that would be much better if we were down in Texas. Which, you know, after the Rumble we will move our touring location around. We're not just going to sit in the Great Lakes forever, or the tri-state area, or New England area. We're going to move our location around sort of month to month. Like run 4 shows in a market, run 4 shows in a market, run 4 shows in a market. Because obviously a market in the game is a lot bigger than a market in real life. Like, we're not just going to run 4 shows in Chicago. We're going to run Illinois and Michigan and Ohio and another show in 4 weeks. 63 rating though. One more angle before our main event. And it's Hogan, Flair and Justice. So Sid's had his match and now they're arguing. Flair and Hogan have come out to the ring because they both want to take this time to talk. They're arguing. Sid comes out, starts having to go at everyone. The Undertaker comes out and clears the ring. And next week we are going to have a tag team match. It's going to be one of our 2 main events. We're going to have Bret Hart versus the Mountie for the Intercontinental Championship. And Hulk Hogan teaming with Sid Justice to take on Ric Flair and the Undertaker. Because I couldn't be bothered to put it, because these 4 are major stars in the Rumble. I didn't want to put that tag match on the undercard because it would probably detract from the Rumble itself. Main event time though. And Bret and the New Foundation pick up the victory when Bret makes IRS tap out to the sharpshooter. Bret and Ted, both really good ratings. I actually kind of do want to know now. There might be a singles match in this feud eventually between Ted and Bret, just because that's actually 85 and 84 are actually some of the best ratings of anyone. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do in a singles match. But 75 overall, pretty good stuff. Next week obviously will be the Mountie versus Bret, as I just mentioned, and of course the big tag team match. So that's going to be a great go-home show. And then, of course, we have the Rumble itself in Episode 5. Hope you're looking forward to that. What do we get overall? 78. So, our shows keep getting better. We had 70, then 76, then 78. And also, we're not losing in as many regions. I'm pretty sure it was 10 regions last time. Still losing, but we're working on that. We're almost at an 80 though, and I think with our 2 massive matches next week, I think we might hit 80. Because with Flair, Hogan, Sid and Taker in a match, I hope we hit 80 with that stuff. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.